So if you're new to us and what we are doing, we are opening a game store in Lenore City, Tennessee. We are renting all of our titles in store as well as selling them, and we are opening this store specifically to build the type of gaming community that we want to be part of. We want to be in the middle of a thriving board gaming community, so we are hoping to cultivate one right here in front of us. On this channel, I'm doing unboxing and reboxing videos mixed with some solo playthroughs. I'm also planning to do some review style videos and some multiplayer playthroughs, but I haven't done that yet, except this one. This is a mini review recap of the titles that I've played this month and ranking the games that I played this month. Just to be 100% clear, we don't have any games in stock at this time that we don't think we would enjoy on some level. And while we're trying to play all the games we have in stock so that we can answer questions about them, we've also been starting with the games we really wanted to play but hadn't played before. Two titles I included in this list, Tapestry and Between Two Castles Essential Edition. I technically played for the first time at the very end of February, but then I did my first solo playthroughs in March. So coming in at number 8 is Welcome to Your Perfect Home. And Welcome to Your Perfect Home is a card game that is it's a roll and write, but it's not rolling, it's cards. And I enjoyed it some, but I played it single player. I understand how the multiplayer isn't terribly different. And of all the games that I played, I felt like I had the least replay interest in this game. That isn't to say it's a bad game. It's definitely a step up from something like Bingo. It's definitely got strategy to it in terms of what you're writing on your sheet. So it could be a good party game for a social group of people. I understand it does have a decent following when it comes to solo play, but it definitely isn't my solo play style. I look for something that draws me in and makes me want to replay and want to replay every time. My next game was Seven Wonders. Seven Wonders is obviously a game that's been very popular for a long time, but it's one that I had never played before. And while I felt like it was a good game, it was the only major title on the list that, again, I didn't feel that draw to wanting to replay it immediately again. It's definitely one I would pull out again. It's definitely one that I will get expansions for and try again. And it had a lot of good replayability. I played this one with my husband and my son, but it didn't draw me in the way that others make me excited to replay. Coming in at number 6, I had Catan Starfarer Duel. Now, Catan Starfarer Duel really wound up at number 6 because it's so complicated. It seems like a game that I might really want to play, but it does have this tutorial method where you start with a simple form of the rules and then you play a little bit more complex rules as you go until you get to the full scale game. And we made it through 3 of the 5 tutorials. Each one takes progressively longer. And finally, I got to the point of realizing that you wind up with about 4 to 5 hours playthrough time between setup and explanations and going through the rules and going through the game and learning the pieces before you actually have played a real game. And that's a lot of time investment. We haven't gotten there yet. I'll revisit this when we finally get to the point where we have played through it. We did 3 different sessions where we did the first 3 tutorial levels. And while I saw a lot of promise in the game, I want to keep coming back to it because I feel like I haven't completed it. But we also saw that it really becomes a game of memory. At least for us, it was what's in each star system really becomes a memory matching rather than anything else. So we found that the memory was more important than the resource gathering. As any Catan game, a lot of it comes down to resources, but it still felt very heavy on memorization to the point where it was less fun because in a duel, you wind up with one partner who's better at memorizing certain things or coming up with their own memorization strategies, and that shouldn't be what makes the game better versus worse. Yeah, so hopefully it does get better, and we will come back to it after we've played the last two scenarios so that we are playing the full game. But from the tutorials so far, it definitely felt like a memorization game, and who memorized the best one, even with the reshuffling of each area. Number 5 on my list is Tainted Grail. This is Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. Yes, this was Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, and I really enjoyed pieces of this game. But the reason why it came in at number 5 is it was a serious time investment. It's the kind of game that was really hard for me to get. First off, I played with my husband. We played a 2-player game. We had a hard time learning the rules. I wound up searching all of YouTube, searching all of forums. We wound up taking a 3-hour break just to research some of the rules because we misunderstood based on how a deck was shuffled, how something worked. And in that way, the fact that the mechanics let you get that confused without giving you a way to get back on track, really, I consider myself an experienced board gamer, and I really liked Tainted Grail once I understood how it worked. But even with all the tutorials and all of the forums that I could find, I couldn't easily figure out the part that we were trying to figure out of the game. And we were concerned also about having spoilers for how to play the game while trying to figure out how to play the game. So I think that for a story-based game, it's really essential that if it's going to be story-based and have spoilers, that it really has to have very clear rules so that you don't wind up stuck trying to find out more without trying to have spoilers, especially when you don't have people that are familiar with the game around you, and especially because it's so popular for solo play. We also almost lost we only played one chapter. I do want to get back to it. I very much enjoyed this game. I very much want to go back to the game and play the entirety of it. But we almost lost in the first chapter, which is also rough. By the point that we had spent maybe 6 or 7 hours into the game, the idea that we might have to start over completely or do the reset option that they have about like praying to the gods and being saved. I really did not appreciate the fact that it was so easy in the very beginning to potentially lose before you understand the rules and understand how the game works. It's disheartening when it's a campaign-based game that doesn't help you through easier. Not that I want the game to be easy, but I definitely want it to be, it left me with a sort of a sour taste in the way that it was. But again, I really want to come back to it. I really want to play the whole game. I'm really excited to play the whole game, and we just don't have the time right now to play the rest of the chapters yet because we're trying to familiarize ourselves with our entire store inventory. But we will be coming back and playing the rest of the game, and I'll probably buy the other Tainted Grail games as well to play them through. Coming in at number 4, we have Res Arcana. Res Arcana is a game that we had a copy on the shelf at home, but had not played yet. And when we got into it, realized that it's a really cool game for a few different reasons. I really liked it because to me, it felt like Magic the Gathering meets Splendor. And that is the weirdest comparison to a lot of people. And I don't mean that it's really like either one, but the way that there's constant tapping and resetting of cards, that reminds me heavily of Magic, even though that's the only part that really reminds me of Magic. And then you also have this recruiting of items off the table that feels like Splendor. And so all across the board, I liked it because it took mechanics of those games that I like and that were in it. I especially liked that it winds up being a card drafting game, but you're only building a deck building game where you're only building a deck of 8 cards. You're only dealing with a deck of 8 cards. You really can figure out how to work those cards together to your best interest. It's easier to keep 8 cards in mind and have a strategy in order. And because there are so many other cards, having the randomness of your 8 cards and having the randomness of the different pieces of the game really lends to a lot of replay. And I'm really excited to do more replay of Res Arcana. We're also going to pursue getting the expansions. I don't have the expansions now, and I know one's out of print, so I don't know if I'll be able to get my hands on it, but I'm hopeful. Number 3 is Between Two Castles. Between Two Castles is a game that the Essential Edition just released last month, which combines the original game with its expansion in one box. Since I didn't have this before, it's the only edition we have, so I can't really compare. But I really enjoy Between Two Castles. We have had a lot of fun with it. I've pulled it out. We played it once. I played a solo playthrough, which was very fun. And I also was able to pull it out at a game day with some friends where we just needed something quick and easy to set up, to be able to capitalize on the fact that we had some extra time we weren't expecting. And it was a game that they weren't familiar with, but one of the biggest benefits to it is it packs in the box completely ready to go. You're ready to play immediately on opening the box, and it is very fast to explain. So I very much have enjoyed playing it because I don't have to have enough time to set up, to clean up, to do all these extra steps. It really works really well as a smooth go-to game. I especially like the competitiveness while trying to be a cooperative game at the same time. That leads to all kinds of interesting situations. And I very much enjoy Between Two Castles, and it's at number 3 here. It's definitely a go-to game that I'll probably pull out in a lot of group settings. Number 2 is Tapestry. Again, I had never played Tapestry before, and I played Tapestry as a 2-player game. I really enjoyed it, and then pulled it out and played it as a 1-player game. Tapestry is definitely up there on my list of titles that I will probably be replaying and replaying for my own enjoyment. And I will definitely be unboxing and exploring the expansions to Tapestry this month. And then coming in number 1 is Scythe. So Scythe, again, is a very popular game that I never had played. I had some friends that were interested in playing it, so we played it at a game day with some friends. So we played a 4-player game, and I was very impressed by the experience of playing Scythe. I was a little concerned that it would be a little bit too militaristic for me. I don't like strong military games. I love military concepts in games. I do not love all military games. And so Scythe had a great balance of threat and Cold War without having high combat. And I absolutely loved it. I am looking forward to trying it as a solo game. And also, everybody in my group was equally thrilled with how good it went and definitely wanted to replay Scythe again and considered it the best game. So, again, in March here, I have played 8 new titles to me and ranked them here for you in this video. That doesn't mean these are my favorite games of all time. This just means that they are my favorite games of this moment and that I played in this month. We will continue to be playing through a whole bunch of titles that I have never played before. So next month, I would expect to see another roundup video with a bunch of games that I have not played yet. Please hit the like button or the subscribe button. Every like and subscribe really helps us out here. And we are enjoying making this content for you. I'm continuing to make unboxing and reboxing videos. As we get through the titles that we are adding, we'll have more playthrough videos. I'm also hoping to do some super quick setup videos for very quick how to set up once you have the box arranged the way that they are from our reboxing videos. And really, I'm just enjoying making more content, especially as we get our game store ready to open, but it's still not open because construction. So I can't help with the construction, but I can play some games.